What are your 3 top tips for a first-time home buyer?
So this is a question I get a lot. Obviously, being in this industry, everybody wants to know, like, where do I start? And so, I would say that the top 3 tips here. So number one is get your finances in order. That's probably the biggest step. Work together with a lender, or if you do know, or working with an agent, let them kind of guide you into, who to use, because finding the right lender is definitely an important part of the process. But not only that, but really understanding and knowing your own budget, knowing your finances, from top to bottom. Making sure how much you're putting down, and as well as estimating closing costs. Right, closing costs are sort of this, I would say, expense that sneaks up on you. People don't realize how much they are, so make sure that you're budgeting for that. And then also factor in like repair costs, moving costs, furniture, rainy day funds. These are all things that are going to pop up. And if you're a first time home buyer, you may not know about a lot of these expenses that pop up. So it's very important to make sure that you're covering yourself in all areas, and you really know what you're getting into first and foremost. Nobody wants to be house poor, especially not in today's market. You really want to be able to make sure that you're buying something that you can invest in and can be an asset to your portfolio for a long time. The other thing is don't make any stupid purchases. Don't make anything that's going to impact negatively your credit score. People don't realize that, but during the process, a lot of times I'll have people that say, "Oh yeah, George, I just bought myself a brand new car," and I'm sitting there like, "Well, why did you do that?" This is not something that now that we're going to have to explain why we did that. And so for lenders on the call, obviously you've experienced that a lot, so I'm sure you could obviously attest to that. The second thing that's important is educating yourself and putting together a plan, right? So yes, this is something that you can get together and talk about with your real estate agent, but it's a lot better if you have a plan yourself and are able to kind of guide the real estate agent that you're working with as to what you specifically want and needs. And then it's a lot easier for real estate agents to be able to help you with that process from there, right? So understanding the market, knowing the times. Right now, obviously, we're in the seller's market here in New Jersey, and I'm sure I'll talk about that more depth later. But understand the market and kind of have an idea of where you want to go, what county, because every county and every township is different. Everything has its own little feel, so make sure that you know and understand that. Live a day in the life. Make sure that you go and visit whatever township or county that you're going in, or if it's another state, make sure that you're fully committed and have done your research beforehand. And then also your roadmap. Where do you see your life in 5 to 7 years? A lot of people are getting bogged down into the, hey, I want to buy a house and that's the place that I want to stay in for the rest of my life. Well, statistics show that the average American moves about 11 times in their life. So just something to keep in mind when you're starting. And there is such thing as a starter home, and people kind of want to bypass that whole aspect. But owning a home is definitely something that takes some time to learn, and you need to have practice in order to know how to go about it. And then also just knowing that there's just so many different options out there when it comes to real estate, whether it's investing in something, whether it's buying fixtures, whether it's buying a small townhouse, expanding, building your portfolio, renting it out. There's so many different things. So obviously educating yourself on what you want to do and what you plan on doing. And then lastly, I can't stress this one enough. It's working with the right agent. And I say that with caution, because it's very important that you interview and really know the person that you're working with. Make sure that they have your best interest in mind at all times. Yes, there's a lot of good agents out there. There's a lot of bad agents out there, but there's really one agent that works with you. We call it a vibe. If you're vibing with somebody, that agent's going to take care of you, then you're in the right hands. You want somebody who's educated. You want somebody who's going to be able to give you guidance and be your hub. If you're moving to a different area, you want that person, that real estate agent, to be the person that that can help you in whatever you need. You have a question on a Friday night of, hey, George, where do I go for pizza? Well, then you want to know, yeah, I'm going to SQ Pizza up in Mahwah, right? So you have to have somebody who knows and is familiar with where to go and can give that advice. And then in this market, it's also having an agent that has a strategy, because this is crazy times that we're in, and making sure that exactly what the plan is and how to go about making sure that you have the best offer has been very important. There's 100 people that are going to see the same home in one weekend right now, and so it's really important to make yourself stand out a little bit more, and having a great agent will allow you to do that. And having the brokerage, the real estate firm that you work for behind them with all the resources is also an important thing to know. So I know that was kind of a long thing, but those are really the three most important things. And I think that also covers a lot of other bases when it comes to, home buying.